How you doing, Niveet?
Pretty good. Yeah, it took a minute. Circle
Yeah,
around.
no worries. Uh-oh. Oh, it's not my internet. All right, there you are again. We just had a little bit of buffering. But so let me just introduce real quick. This is Niveet Nagpal of Privé. My name's Tanner Vaughn of AGTA, and Niveet is on because he won 6 awards for this year's AGTA Spectrum Awards. And big achievement. Congratulations. And I think what's even more unique is that you didn't just win them in jewelry, you didn't just win it in gemstones, but you won it across both divisions, both our Spectrum Jewelry division and our cutting edge for loose gemstones. And all of them that you submitted were just spectacular. So,
Thank you,
um,
Tanner. It's great to be here.
yeah, thank you. And just to start us off, I think the fact that you won across both divisions is really kind of like a testament to what your company is and how you guys have evolved over time. Because I know, at least from my perspective, I've only been in the industry for about 2 years now. I kind of know you guys a little bit more for your jewelry, but I know that's not where you started. And tell us a little bit about kind of like your path and kind of starting in loose gemstones, but how you guys evolved a little bit more into the jewelry sector and how you guys operate today.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, colored stones are in my blood. My first Tucson show was when I was 6 years old. And since then, I've been, that's been a passion of mine. I've loved gemstones. My family, my mom's side has been in the business for over 5 generations. So that's always definitely been in my blood. My parents started Omi Gems in 1985 officially. And
Right.
so, coming to Tucson since then and, supplying loose stones to the trade. And then, Spectrum plays a big part in that. Heading into the 2000s, we would do some private label or special commission pieces for people, but, we were still primarily a loose stone company. And then in 2010, I believe it was, we submitted a couple of pieces for Spectrum just to see how that would go. One of them was a commission bracelet that Judy Evans helped us design. And then the other one was a Savarite and yellow diamond ring, which
Hmm.
I designed.
Which I actually
And
pulled up. So you said Judy Evans, it was the sapphire bracelet you mentioned.
yeah,
So here, let me pull that up on my end. I hope everyone can see it. So this is the piece that he's referring to back when he first started with some of the jewelry commissions, right?
yeah. So that was for a special collector customer at a store out in California. And so we created this piece, and before we delivered it, we asked if we could submit that to the Spectrum Awards, and she agreed, and this won best use of platinum in color.
Yeah.
And it was quite a surprise. I just entered just to see how it was, and then after that it was a whirlwind. What's your company? Where's your jewelry collection? I
Hmm.
think we had 3 pieces in stock at that time, or maybe 10 pieces.
And you
So
also
that's
entered back then that year this piece too, right?
right.
Yep.
Yeah,
And this one was you though. It wasn't Judy Evans. It was Naveed.
right.
No.
Yeah, I designed this piece, and that was, oh my gosh, that was such a beautiful samurai. I still can picture the color. It was a 5 carat, from the old mines. It was just a spectacular samurai. That was the centerpiece of it. And yeah, that one was first place bridal, I believe.
Yeah, it was definitely in bridal. So I have the awards for this year pulled up on my end. I just downloaded the pictures just so people can see the evolution to kind of where you guys started with the jewelry and how you and what you're making today and where it kind of like all started. But yeah, so you were saying that like people started once you entered these pieces and you guys were kind of put on the map for jewelry. That's kind of where you guys started with the jewelry brand. How did that kind of get going?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were creating pieces for a few retailers. We're doing some private label, like I said, and we were doing some
Right,
special commissions around the stones that we had, especially being based in Los Angeles and some of our clients in smaller cities. So it was more of a service that we were providing.
right.
And as we honed our skills, and I learned more about design and more about manufacturing. And then once we won the Spectrum Awards, that was 2008, 2009 was during the recession, and coming into 2010 winning those Spectrum Awards, then we had a lot of requests like, we'd like to see some of your pieces, or what's the jewelry brand name, or, how do you guys work? And I didn't really know how to answer those questions. So a year later, we put together a business plan as a niche for creating handmade pieces, high quality pieces, all manufactured locally around our beautiful gemstones. And then we launched Omi Privé in 2000, 2012.
Nice, nice. Well, it's definitely come a long way. And let's just start talking about a little bit more about what you guys made this year. So let's first start off with your piece that won in bridalware, which was first place in manufacturing honors. One moment, I'll pull up in just a sec. All right, here it is. So we got a platinum ring featuring a 3.38 carat oval emerald accented with diamond. What is that? Epaulets? Sorry, I don't know if I'm saying that one right. My bad.
Well, the easier term for it is caddies, Cadillac symbols. So a lot of
Okay.
people in trade call them caddies, but epaulets is the actual the shape.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, so this one got both first place for bridal, which I think is fantastic because, with my fiance, I went color too. So I think it's just so great to start seeing color more and more. And I think in all the articles, I think this kind of ring helps really show how beautiful an engagement ring can be using, you still have diamonds thrown in there to make that kind of engagement feel, but just a more unique touch to it with that green.
Yeah, I mean, the more, of course, this stone is an incredible stone. It almost glows. It's a Zambian emerald, but it has this almost blue tinge to it that you don't usually see, and it's extremely clean and bright. The picture is a beautiful picture, but really doesn't do the stone justice. So everything is always around the stone, and I felt like we want to do something more classic around it. But even with classic, you look at all the little details. So using epaulets instead of a more common shape, and how the point goes down into the knife edge shank with the diamonds, and even the angle that the diamonds are set at, and
Right.
using the split prongs so that there's not a lot of heavy metal around the center stone, so that you can focus on the stone. And then those are all hand drawn platinum wires, so they hold the stone very very securely.
Hmm.
So those little details, I think, are what we always focus on, and I think is one of the reasons that we're successful at Spectrum, because you have the three elements are always a stone, and everything starts with the gemstone.
Right.
Then you want to design around that stone to bring the best potential out of the stone. I almost look at stones like you're an interior designer, or almost interviewing a stone, like trying to understand their personality and
Hmm.
what style they need to be in, and so I always look at it that way. And then it's the design, and then after that is the craftsmanship and the details. So when you have all three of those elements, that goes in all the pieces that we make.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. And do you have this piece here with you, or is this the piece that you sold?
This piece actually sold, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this one we don't have here today, but congratulations on selling it.
Thank you. It went to one of our favorite collectors, so we're very happy with its new home.
Nice. Nice. Well, that's always awesome. It's great to get an award, but it's also great, for the business side of things to get rid of some of the pieces too, if that's your intention. Because I know some people keep all their Spectrum winners, but it's still business at the end of the day too.
It's an addiction. We have to sell so we can buy more. That's I already have a whole tray full of things I need to buy. So
Nice. All right. So next up, we've got in bridalware again. You also got an honorable mention for this ring, which is a platinum ring featuring a 2.21 carat oval granditerite accented with alexandrites, and which is 1.18 carats in total for the alexandrites and 0.34 carats in the diamonds. So talk to me about this ring. So I think one of the things that I know you for is your use in alexandrites, but let's talk about the granditerite, because that one just like, I don't know if we actually got another granditerite in the entire competition. Why this stone?
um, I never heard of Granditerite. I've been in the business for a long time, since I was 6 years old. So I've never heard of that stone until a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just intriguing to me. There was the blue and the green, and sometimes looked a little bit like an dicolite,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
It does.
a little bit, and then but most of them weren't very pretty. They tend to be very included, and they're heavily trichroic, so it's a difficult stone to cut as well. So you just didn't see a lot of good quality material there. But when I did see one that I liked, I kind of got the same way I was mesmerized by Alexandrite. It's one of my favorite stones. Granditerite kind of was kind of one of those things where I was on a mission for a while. So for a couple of years, every granditerite that I saw that was beautiful, I tried to acquire it if possible. And they're only found in one place in the world, and that's in Madagascar. It's named after a French explorer, Grandidier. So
Okay.
that's where it gets its name from, and it's been around, I think, for over 100 years. I think it was in the late 1800s, early 1900s it was discovered, but usually it's opaque, and gem body material was never discovered until recently. So, and
Interesting.
then you can't see it as much in the picture, but alexandrite goes from that bluish green to the
Well,
purpley red, and
well, hold
so
on.
when
I've
you
got or just so that people can see some of the different light. If they did want this ring, it changes with the color. So like, you definitely use some high quality alexandrites there.
Yeah. And
Excellent.
so even in the picture, so you can see the color change, but in
Mhm.
reality, when you're moving around, the flashes of the alexandrite and the way
Right.
that it plays off the color of the grandiorite, I really wanted to create something with those two stones together. So this is the byproduct of that.
Yeah. And here we just got a few. All right, and there's all the pictures that I've got. So yeah, I think it's just that. What is it like though to design with alexandrite, knowing the changes of colors that are going to play into it over time? Because you use it as a lot of accents with other gemstones.
Yeah, it's actually fun, and it's a good workout too, because I actually put them on the trays and I put them together, and I have to walk around the office and my windows, and so it's a lot of walking when you play with alexandrites, going under different lights, using different flashlights, and they change colors, but it's not so much like a change from one color to another, but it's the way they catch light and the way they change colors at different angles. So I literally do walk around as much as I
Okay.
can in different parts of the office to see how the alexandrites can the colors play off their center stones.
Yeah, and I think that's like I can't even imagine how it's like to use a color change, but like I know that when the same gemstone looks so different in different lights, different hues, like all like throughout the day, and that could be like even something that doesn't have color change. So I can't even imagine what it's like to go through the design process with something that changes color throughout the day and in different lights, and making sure that it looks beautiful in all of them and contrasts well with the other gemstone metal that
Yeah,
you
it's
use.
definitely fun. I'm definitely a little obsessed with alexandrites, so it's fun.
Yeah, no doubt. Um, I love it too. So now we got another one that won classical, and this is the last jewelry piece that you won. We'll save the loose gemstone, which I know that's where you guys started, for last. But so in the classical division, you won second place and platinum honors for this piece. And it's a platinum ring featuring a 10.10 carat oval pink sapphire accented with diamonds, 1.36 total carat weight, and pink sapphires with 0.72 total carat weight. And it looks like you just threw in there for fun a zero point zero 0.01 carat alexandrite, because I've got to imagine it's your favorite gemstone. But yeah, talk to me about this piece.
Yeah, so the alexandrite I do put in all of our one of a kind pieces. I do
Yeah,
put one little alexandrite inside the shank next to the logo. That's a trademark for our one of a kind pieces, and so alexandrite is my favorite stone. So yeah, you got that right. Yeah, this one again, starting with the gemstone, it's a over 10 carat pink sapphire, and usually, when they're very saturated, that neon saturated pink, a lot of times you'll see those secondary, like brown or purple or, secondary colors. And this one was just a really pure, beautiful pink. So I
right.
love this stone. And when we went to design this stone, I definitely want to put it in platinum. And if you notice, we do the rose gold, the little prongs, the split prongs are rose gold, and those are also hand drawn. And then, and then we do French cut baguettes, which are custom cut in Israel, which is down the side. And then we decided to do ombre sapphires. So on the side, you'll see it starts from a very light pink on the bottom and it
Oh,
tapers up to a dark pink. So it
I
kind of
picked
brings
up on
brings
that.
you up to it. So again, it's those little details. There's even diamonds on the side gallery. So the whole top part of the ring from the side, every view you get while you're wearing the ring, you won't see any metal except for the prongs. Even those are very very thin. So again, it's just focused on the stone.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely beautiful. And so were you, when you were entering the competition, why classical over bridal? Do you think it's
Um,
classical ring in general, or
I thought it was a little larger, and because it's a classic stone, sapphire is more of a classic stone, and because it's over 10 carats, I figured this is a little bit more. To me, it was a little bit more classic, and also when we come to bridal, a lot of times, when people want to wear their wedding bands with it, it's already a wide range, so it wasn't really as
Yeah.
accommodating for wearing a band.
Yeah, I was thinking, pink sapphires I feel like are a big one too. That's an up and coming trend with bridal, but no, it's definitely I would definitely agree with that with the thickness. It is a little bit more it definitely leans more classical. And then we've got your final award, which was a loose gemstone. Let's see, where is it in my gallery? Here we go. All right, so it won all other cut gemstones in third place, and it was a 25.23 carat pear shaped imperial topaz. For everyone out there, I mean, when we saw this, it was probably one of the most beautiful gemstones we saw in this competition. And it was just, I feel like it couldn't have embodied that imperial topaz like, there's no other perfect example. But tell me about like when why you chose this piece and the process for you guys in entering it.
Well, um, I love topaz. I love the purpley to the red of the imperial topaz, but it's not a stone that we have ever been heavily invested in or owned a lot of. But when I do see a beautiful one, I like it. This is definitely one about a year and a half ago or so that I fell in love with, and it took a while to acquire it. It just had the red with that little bit of orange in it. Looked like almost like a flame color. So there was just something about this stone that definitely mesmerized me. And we were able to acquire it, and then we recut it. I believe we took about a half a carat off of it just to widen up the facets a little bit and to bring out more of the color and close it up. So it came out wonderfully. We were hoping to improve it a little bit, and actually improved quite a bit. And so we're really excited about it. And sometimes stones will come in front of me and I already know what I want to do with it. I already have a design in mind within
Mhm.
5 minutes. Sometimes they sit around on my desk for a while, and this is one that I'm still working on. I have a couple of ideas, but I haven't quite come up with what I want to do with this piece.
So you are thinking about making a jewelry piece. You're not going to sell it, loose.
Either way, a lot of times we will sell it loose and then wind up creating a custom design with the client,
Hmm.
or we will create a piece about it before. So it just depends on the situation and timing of everything.
Well, I hope you guys make something with it and enter it next year. So, because I think we've seen actually a lot over time where either AGTA members will kind of band together and say like, "Oh, you won," with this like recently. I can't remember what award it was, but someone won in loose gemstones with a pair of indicolite tourmalines, and then all of a sudden, like a couple of years later, there was in earring form and won it. I believe it won again. So it's like, I hope you win this. You got this award and you enter it again with a new design and kind of like double up on this gemstone because it is killer.
That would be cool if we make a killer piece and sell it, or if it goes in the spectrum. I'll be happy either way.
Yeah, yeah, and all right. So I think what everyone wants to know is we have four pieces that won. Which is your favorite or favorite? I'm not. You don't have to pick. It's one, but for everyone's knowledge, so we had the topaz, we had the emerald ring, we had the granditerite, and we had the pink sapphire. Which ones would you say were your kind of diehard favorites?
Well, I mean, I kind of described what I loved about each stone, so
Mhm.
it's almost like like kids, like you don't, you love them all, you would love them all the same, but it's actually you love them all differently, but you don't love one more or less. So it's kind of hard to say, but I don't know the Grandidierite ring just because of the rarity of it and how many I've seen that the color of that specific stone, usually they're a little bit darker, so the color of that specific stone is pretty special. I haven't seen another one exactly like it and as clean as this one, so I'm a little bit partial to this one and the way that it just works with the alexandrites, but yeah, it's really hard to pick. I mean, that's mainly because of the rarity, but there's that emerald is spectacular. I love the design and the pink sapphire. So yeah, it's tough. Yeah, they're all my favorites.
Well, I'm not surprised granditerite anyway because of your love for alexandrites. I mean, you really worked them in on this piece.
Thank you. Yeah.
But so let's talk about like, so we've kind of gone through some of your creative process in making these, but what has this past year, 10 months, I guess now, we've kind of been in this situation. What has it been like for your business and maybe your designing process? And I don't know when you exactly made these pieces specifically, if it was through COVID or tell me about this past year.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been challenging and a lot of opportunities as well. I think when, if we go back to the beginning, I thought that I would actually have time to be more creative and spend more time designing and, being at home, and that worked for about a week or two, and then, just get back to baseline and got busy. And thankfully we've been really busy and still been able to work remotely and in the office more recently. So yeah, I mean, we've been keeping pretty busy. So I didn't spend, I thought I would be able to spend, extra time this year creating new collections, but we did get to design a lot of new pieces. And, we're fortunate as being a colored stone company that we don't always have to go out to the market to acquire stones. We have quite a bit of inventory that we built over time. And we have some great vendors and great support, and, people that we've known for years or even generations. So access to stones wasn't the problem. So I was at stones, and I was able to design quite a few new pieces this year. And of course, everything was slowed down, but I don't think it changed up too much. It just slowed things down a little bit, I would say, on the production side. But in other words, one of the things when we started doing the jewelry collection, when we launched on Privé, was we wanted to design every piece like it could be a Spectrum Award winner. So whether it's a $3,000 piece or whether it's a $300,000 piece, we're using the same craftsmanship, the same care, the same quality of diamonds, the same hands. Like everything is the same, regardless of what it is. So we always want to focus on the stone and making sure the stone is the best possible stone and unique and cut well, and then the design around it to bring out, its potential and its personality, and then use the highest quality craftsmanship and diamonds possible. And that's, always been our philosophy. It's, no excuses. Just, make the best possible homes for our beautiful babies, our beautiful gemstones.
Yeah, no doubt. And thank you, Cami. So one of my colleagues asked a question in here and asked how many awards. So for everyone who popped in later on and didn't see the introduction, again, this is Niveet Nagpal of Omi Privé. He won 6 awards across 4 different pieces in this year's Spectrum competition, and they were both in our jewelry design section, the Spectrum Awards division, and the cutting edge division. So thank you again. I don't go. That's like one of the things. Like I do the introduction at the beginning. I feel like I do at the very end. I think I should kind of do it in between because I know a lot of people pop in and pop out, and they catch it when they can. But yeah, well, that's great though. Like the fact that your company has been around for so long, you've built those partnerships where at least this year wasn't, it didn't hinder business too much. It sounds like, at least not as much as I'm sure some other people may have had. But it's great to hear that you guys are doing fantastic right now. And is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers, with our listeners right now?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at how we kind of launched our brand when we Privé in 2012. So it's only been about 8 years now, and we've been able to build a really great reputation and niche brand within our industry, and a lot of it has to do with Spectrum. Was kind of what gave me the confidence to go out there and do it. It would have probably happened, but it would have maybe taken a little bit longer to do that. And you never know. Every year, like last year, we didn't win any awards in Spectrum. So you never know. It's never a given, and you never know what the judges are going to look at exactly. Like, they're looking at the criteria that presents them in Spectrum, but you don't know. Every year it's different judges, and the 5 judges, the personalities they're going to have, and
Yeah.
what they're going to look at specifically. So you never know. So I encourage everyone, just, put your best work forward, as you can, and enter Spectrum. If you win Spectrum, the validation you get, the validation you get from your clients, the validation you get within the industry from your peers. I think it was 4 years ago or so, 3 or 4 years ago, I think I won 2 awards, and we were in the Tucson show, and I remember going to the banquet, the award ceremony, and, I had my team there, and we had a great time with a lot of our peers, and, just an honor being there around so many great designers and winning the award. But, we get really busy in December and January and preparing for Tucson. And I got to the award ceremony and realized this is really special. Like, how special is this to be able to win, Spectrum Awards and multiple Spectrum Awards at one time, to win 2. And I didn't have my father or my mother who started the company, my wife, my kids, like they weren't there in that moment. And I decided, next year if I even win one award, I'm gonna bring them. And then next year we won five.
Yeah, and I remember
So
that time when you
that
guys were,
was that was
everyone was holding one award, and it was a cool sight. I mean, it must have been super special for you.
it was great having them there. My kids were pretty small, so but they still being there at the award ceremony and seeing that, and hopefully they're inspired by that and they get to see me besides being at home, and just having my parents there, that was really nice. And then it was zero, so you never know, like you never know if you're going to win another award. So
Yeah.
you know so I don't take anything for granted. We're blessed. I have a great team here, um, at the company, and my family at home, and all the support, and my parents giving me the opportunity about starting this business, the team and the craft, the guys in the shop and everyone. I mean, it's a whole big team effort. So
Yeah, well, I'm super happy how much Spectrum has meant for your guys' business, and I just want to thank you for supporting our competition. This competition means a lot for us as a trade, and we're so happy when we hear some of these stories of how much it's actually meant back on your businesses and how it's evolved things. And it sounds like this competition helped launch a whole jewelry brand for you guys. And thank you
absolutely,
for sharing.
big part of it.
Yeah.
And what I love, I think that's what I love the most about it also, is that it's not just based on the design or the images. It's actually live, and the judges are actually looking at the pieces in real life, because you can get a good idea of what stones look like. You can get a good idea of craftsmanship from images, but you can't really see how it feels or how the stone speaks to you or how it sparkles unless you hold it in your hand. And I think that's really important in a design competition, that people can actually see and feel the pieces.
It is, especially in this industry. There's pieces are very different. Like I wish there's a better way to show people these pieces, but virtually right now, like that's why we're looking forward to, hopefully having a show soon so that we can put these pieces on display for all the buyers to see them coming down the aisles at our gem fairs. So hopefully coming soon, but um,
Absolutely.
yeah. But Naveet, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Tanner.
And unless there's anything else you'd like to share, I'll let you get back to your day, let you get back to business. Sounds like you're a very busy guy this time of year.
Yeah, we're getting ready for Tucson show next week.
Yeah, yep. I wish. But yeah, thank you so much. We can't wait to see what you enter next year. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Tanner. I appreciate it. It's great seeing you. And thanks everyone out there for tuning in.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. We'll be on next week as well. And Naveet, stay safe. You and your entire team. I hope you guys stay safe over the next couple months. And look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks. Great, Tanner. Take care.
Bye.